Nighttime, bitch. Nighttime, bitch. Nighttime, bitch. Time for nighttime shit. Nighttime, bitch.
She walks out the house, she walks into the street, she doesn't even look where she's going. And then BAM! She got hit by a big ass truck.
Golden fox squirrel. Newt, be quiet. I was just driving and I saw it. And it's made of gold. Come on, I want to see the rest of your body. Show the people what they want. You little turkey. Posing. Come on. I'm trying to turn around in this parking lot. Look! It's gold! So cool. Alright. You're so cute. You got comfy? Why don't you get comfy in the heated blankie? Huh? Oh, the baby. The grandbaby. The baby wants to play. What do you think? Comfy on the heated blankie, huh? Okay. Good, good. I scratch your belly. Oh, I scratch your big belly.
Let's talk about why hermit crabs are one of the most abused animals in the pet trade. For starters, all hermit crabs are stolen from the wild, and the majority of them end up in places like this, where they're treated as souvenirs instead of living beings. In tourist shops with signs in the windows that say buy a cage like this, or like this, and get a crab for free. And as for them being smelly, just take a look around the cages that these places keep them in. They're full of dead and decaying hermit crabs. These are videos I took while I was on vacation 2 weeks ago. Did you know that in captivity, hermit crabs have an average lifespan of less than 2 years? But they are more than capable of living over 30 years. This average lifespan in captivity is thanks to places like this, teaching people improper care, which leads to an early death in hermit crabs. But they are more than capable of living over 30 years in captivity, if you give them everything they need to survive. So let's talk about what that is. This is one of my hermit crab enclosures. It's 75 gallons, has places to climb, freshwater and saltwater pools they can fully submerge in, tons of shells that they can grow into, deep substrate so they can molt properly, UVB lights, high humidity, and high heat. All of these things are essential. And you should even provide a wheel for your hermit crabs so they can get proper exercise. And when I'm talking about hermit crabs, I'm talking about plural, because hermit crabs are a communal species and they don't do well when they're kept by themselves. So you need to have at least 3. And if you're following the minimum tank size requirement for hermit crabs, that's 10 gallons per crab. So you need at least a 30-gallon tank for 3 crabs. And when it comes to food, hermit crabs are the scavengers of the beach, so they should be getting a wide variety for their diet. And unfortunately, hermit crab pellets sold commercially are not good for hermit crabs because they're full of unnecessary and dangerous additives. Here's an example of what a hermit crab diet should look like, and some food suggestions. And this video is just what I fed my hermit crabs today, but I change up their food every couple days. Calcium, protein, and green sand are all essential to a hermit crab's diet, as well as fresh fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts, greens, herbs and spices, worm castings. The list goes on and on. But all that I'm trying to say is that hermit crabs are dealt a really crappy hand by humans. So we really need to stop supporting the supply and demand of these tourist shops because they don't look at these guys like living beings. All they are is a price tag to them. And hermit crabs deserve better than that. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching.
Scary noodle! Scary noodle! Scary noodle! Scary noodle! Yeah! Scary noodle! Oh my god. 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 Oh my god.
Hey, so we have a lot of new people on the page, and I wanted to share the story about the time that I had to relocate and raise almost 200 snapping turtle eggs. Now the backstory is, these people called me because I'm a licensed wildlife rehabilitator in Michigan, and they said a bunch of snapping turtles laid eggs in their yard, but they were about to demo their entire yard and they didn't want to kill the eggs. I told them I would do my best to find as many eggs as I could, but I feared it was going to be a lot of dead ends, because even though they marked the nests, snapping turtles typically lay a couple of false nests before they actually lay their eggs in their final nest. So out of the 15 nests they had marked, only 5 of them ended up having eggs in them. Now you can see here I'm gently uncovering the eggs, and in an earlier clip you could see that I was marking the top of the egg with a marker. That's because once the embryo starts to form, the blood vessels attach to the top of the egg, so you need to be sure not to rotate the egg because you will kill the embryo if you do. Anyway, so this is what we ended up bringing home. And then I got them set up in incubators. I ended up doing 3 different styles of incubators because at this time in wildlife rehabilitation, I wasn't 100% confident in what the best method of incubation was going to be. A super fun fact about turtles is that the temperature that the eggs incubate at determines the gender of the turtle. So eggs incubated around 80 degrees Fahrenheit will be male. Eggs around 88 will be females. And if they're incubated at the middle ground temperature, then you'll have a mix of male and females. Now, with my incubators, I did have some duds, like you see here. This incubator incubated at way too high of temperatures. It was super hard to regulate the temperature in the incubator, so I never used that incubator again, needless to say. The next incubator had too high of humidity, and you can see from the fungus growing inside the egg here. But I wanted to peel it apart and show you guys, just so that nobody worried that there was an actual baby inside the egg when it didn't make it. So, as you can see here, it's just a yolk. Also something to note, but in the wild, over 90% of turtle nests are raided by predators before the babies get to hatch. So I was really hoping to have at least a 10% turnout rate. Now here I'm candling an egg to show you that this egg does not have a baby growing inside. The next clip I'm going to show you does have a baby inside. And you can tell because of all the blood vessels. Now again, I'm not rotating this egg because the blood vessels are attached to the top of the egg and I don't want to compromise the baby inside. Now again, my goal was to have a 10% hatch rate because that would have been similar to what would happen in the wild. Although with these eggs, probably 0 of them would have hatched because the yard was getting demoed. I had 187 eggs, so if I had ended up with 20 babies, I was going to be happy about that. It took around 90 days for the babies to hatch, and this is the result from when the first clutch hatched. Overall, we ended up hatching around 50 babies. Some of them aren't pictured here, though. And then it was time to release. So I did not release them all in one area. I took them to different suitable locations. I had my nephew and some kids at the park help me release while I educated them, and it was a fun learning activity. Remember guys, if you find a baby turtle in the wild, please do not take it home with you. And if you think that it's too far away from water, just know that these babies are born independent from the day they hatch. And they have what's called a yolk sac on their belly. And it's kind of like an umbilical cord, in a sense. And it's full of vitamins and nutrients that's going to keep them fed for the first few days until they can locate water after they hatch. Anyway, I'm running out of time. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching. The only reason wildlife is able to kill your chickens is because you have failed as a chicken owner to properly protect them. Wildlife are opportunist eaters, so if you give them the opportunity, obviously they're going to take advantage of it. So instead of killing wildlife for doing what's natural for them because you failed to protect your chicken, as a pet owner and as a human being on planet Earth, we should be doing everything in our power to keep all creatures safe. And there is an easy way to do that. And that is called predator-proofing your chicken coop. So let's talk about how to do that. So here we have our coop. The floor inside the coop is made of wood, so nothing can get inside. Here we have our attached run. If you are free-ranging your chickens, then you either have to be comfortable with the idea that wildlife is going to eat your flock, whether it's hawks, eagles, your neighbor's dog that's running around, raccoons, whatever it may be. You're the one risking their lives. My run has this little owl dude up there to keep away overhead predators. It also helps to keep mice from getting inside and eating up all their food. My run also has this hardware cloth on the top, as well as this for like rain and shade coverage. The rest of my coop has hardware cloth. You want hardware cloth, not chicken wire, because little animals like weasels and ermine can get into chicken wire, and raccoons can reach their hands in the chicken wire and rip at your bird. So you need hardware cloth. My run also has a predator apron all around it to keep predators from being able to dig inside and get to my flock. If you're worried about your chickens not having the opportunity to free range, just go outside with your chickens and watch them as they free range and just spend some time with them. You can also provide safe enrichment inside your coop and run, like swings and treat balls, dust baths, and you can give them live bugs. Properly predator-proofing your coop and run will save your chickens' lives. And I know that because I'm a licensed wildlife rehabilitator who has chickens and also encourages raccoons and possums and everything else to my yard. Another thing that you can do is run electricity to your chicken coop and install a motion sensor light. All of this to say that these animals are all native species. Chickens are not. So native wildlife has the right to wander freely. And if you're losing chickens to wildlife or to cars or to your neighbor's dog or their cat, that is on you. And I'm not just saying you specifically, I'm just using your comment to respond because there has been numerous comments that say this on their posts. So anyway, protect your chickens and you will never lose them to cars or wildlife ever again. Thanks for watching. Bye! Hey friend, do you want a wormy? Oh, I dropped it. Here. Good job.
everything I told you that I never would. I told you I changed, even when I knew I never could.
I called for help twice, and not a fuck you, what do you need, or nothing.
For me, I really like corn.
What do you like about corn?
It's corn. A big corn with knobs. It has the juice. It can imagine a more beautiful thing. It's corn. I can tell you all about
dumpster diving, and we just found an entire box of live fish.
So I saw this post of these people that dumpster dived at PetSmart for the very first time, and they found an entire box of live betta fish. And I did comment on the post to reach out and offer my assistance because running a rescue, I have a big network specifically of betta fish rescues all around the United States, and I just know that all of these men and women involved in betta fish rescue would be more than happy to help. So if you could please tag the original posters and below so we can offer our assistance, that would be awesome, because I could not imagine getting a box of 40 plus betta fish that all need to be housed individually. But that is why we are offering to help, so please tag them. Aside from that, seeing all these videos of live animals being found in pet store dumpsters while people are dumpster diving is the reason I started dumpster diving myself. And in the first year of dumpster diving, I found 2 live animals in a pet store dumpster, and I brought it to the manager's attention, and they could care less. Unfortunately, in situations like this, when we bring things to their attention, the only thing that they do to stop it is lock their dumpsters so we can't see what they're doing. Luckily for the domestic rats that I found, they did become sanctuary animals at another rescue, so they don't ever have to worry about a thing for the rest of their lives. However, this is just a great example of why we need to stop supporting places like Petco, PetSmart, and any other large corporation pet stores. And it's not just about buying live animals from them. We can't support them in any way whatsoever from now on. And it sucks, I know, because I'm guilty of it too. If I just need something quick for the rescue, I run down the road to PetSmart and I just buy a bag of bedding or a bag of food. But we're giving these places our money, and they could literally care less about animal well-being. And it's never going to stop as long as we keep paying them to stay in business. Instead, I recommend finding a local mom or pop pet store in the area, and I understand that these places are usually a little bit more expensive, but it is so worth it. So, I don't know, maybe if we could all just campaign together and say no more to supporting these places financially, maybe that would tell them that we care about animal welfare and we expect them to as well. And maybe if they lose enough customers, they'll make some changes. I don't know. But what do you guys say? Excuse me, Mr. Eagle. As a symbol of freedom in the United States, I'm just wondering if you'd like to make a statement about our nation.